Hi everyone, it's Sunday, September 24th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. So it was a very busy week with Lineapelle and the Milan Fashion Week, but before we get to that, let's start with the U.S. market, which continues to be rather stagnant as sellers are insisting on steady prices while customers are still bidding well below that, and that's especially true for steers. And as was the case last week, the auto worker strike has yet to have any effects on the leather supply chain, but as of Friday, the list of Stellantis and GM plants on the strike list grew, and that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Another news item is to watch is the potential U.S. government shutdown on October 1st. If that were to happen, it would disrupt a long list of things, including USDA data, so you want to keep an eye on that. Looking at prices this week, heavy Texas steers were unchanged at $26 for selections averaging 62 to 64 pounds. And as has been the case recently, this is due to a lack of sales, not necessarily any particular price strength for this selection, or for that matter, branded steers or Colorados. Cow prices remain stable with good interest, but as we mentioned last week, there is a ceiling on prices and how high they can go. Combined export sales for the week ending September 14th were 680,300. That's 21% better than the previous week and one of the few times this year that sales actually exceeded slaughter. Combined shipments were also higher this week at 680,300, which is 23% more. Estimated slaughter for the week ending September 23rd was 625,000, and that's down 1% from the previous week. Now, turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guolo says that after a very busy week reporting from Milan, there were some unexpected changes that shook the market, but in the end, little has changed. It was actually a good week for British sellers, and that's largely because of demand from Chinese customers. The 36-plus kilo British ox sold substantially higher at 85 to 87 cents per kilo in sterling, while the Irish price was also higher at 83 to 85 cents in euros. European bulls also managed to earn a few increases, even if some of those may end up being temporary. The price for North German bulls at 40 to 49 kilos is a little bit higher at €1 to €1.10, and prices for Southern German hides are actually remaining fairly steady. European cow market prices also saw some increases, thanks in part to some orders with urgent delivery requests. And in his analysis this week, we have a recap of Andrea's Lineapelle reports, which subscribers did receive each day this week. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel says that the average price of fresh hides is still unchanged at 85 cents per kilo in reals. The reference price of TR1 was also stable at 65 cents in dollars per square foot. Other Latin origins were steady as well, except for Argentina, which finally did see some raw material price increases. In other news from Brazil, JBS begins work on its first research center for cultured protein in Brazil. MyCam is expected to generate more than $30 million for Brazilian footwear that exhibited there. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's industrial employment sector grew modestly in June. In Mexico, migrant issues are disrupting border freight. And in Venezuela, Chinese imports and smuggled footwear from Colombia are an issue. That is all we have for this week. Until next week, good night from HideNet.